Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming back my good friend Diane Franklin, who I've had on several times, who was my very first guest as a matter of fact, star of Better Off Dead and Terror Vision and Last American Virgin and Amityville 2. She's got a new one coming out, and she's coming on the show today to talk about that, Halloween, her upcoming appearance at 80s in the Sand, and anything else we can think of to talk about and stuff. She's a super sweet, friendly lady who I love talking to. I'm so glad that she's coming back on. I love it when she comes on the show. Also, I'd like to say rest in peace, James Karen, who played Frank in The Return of the Living Dead. I know a lot of people, particularly his co-stars, are shooken up about that. He was sick for quite some time, and I guess after 2 years ago he had quit doing conventions for health reasons and stuff, and he passed away earlier today. And I know a lot of us horror fans are shooken up about that as well. So rest in peace, James Karen. And so yeah, here is my new interview with Diane Franklin.
Hello.
Hey Diane, welcome back.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show, Tommy. How's it going?
It's going great. Little sad I found out James Karen died earlier today.
Oh no, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like fresh news. I guess it just came out like an hour ago or so.
Wow, what happened? Does anyone know?
I think it's just natural causes, his age or something. I know he had quit doing conventions a couple of years ago because of health reasons.
Oh, gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
It's very strange, you know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of the internet, but we hear so many deaths in people, and maybe it was just because we didn't hear about it. It was more private, but
Yeah.
it's just really, you know, it's like losing pieces of culture, you know, like the world, you know. I mean, I don't know, it's just interesting. It makes you realize, you know, how important it is that people, you know, do things for the world, and, you know, that they're important, and everybody is giving, you know, giving to the world, and I don't know, I think puts everything in perspective a little bit.
I think you're right about that. It certainly does put everything in perspective, and a lot of people know, a lot more now, though, than they used to, certainly. I was thinking about that the other day, just about how, you know, when I was growing up, I mean, there was no cell phones, no internet, and you just
Right?
kind of found out stuff word of mouth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And also, I mean, you know, like you couldn't watch things over and over again, and you know, everything was more in the moment. You went to a movie. That was the only place you could see the movie. You had to go in the theater, watch it, and remember it, and then come home. And if you were lucky, you maybe saw it twice.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, you know, or, you know, when there was no VHS or, you know, or DVDs or CD, you know. And same thing with music. I remember, this is another thing too. Remember when music used to just play on the radio and that was it?
Yeah.
You couldn't own music. You couldn't play it again. You owned maybe a later record.
Right.
But you had to have a record player to play it, and you couldn't share it with your friends. You'd have to come to your house and listen to the music. You know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, everyone had radios to listen to music, and if you owned a record player, you could buy vinyl records or later CD and cassette or, you know, 8-track in the 70s.
Yeah, cassette. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. I just love that. I mean, that's one of the things I think that is I love about acting for as long as I have, because I have seen the entertainment business change so much.
Yep.
And having, you know, the advantage or the luck of being able to still be in it, I really, you know, it blows my mind, all the things that happen, and that, you know, you need to keep up with as an actor, you know, how to stay in the industry. It's different. But at the same time, I actually love it. I like the changes that
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm so excited though that Halloween is coming up. Are you?
Yes, I am very excited. I actually I work with kids. I teach kids, and
Right.
so I'm very that's like one of the most exciting things is to be around a lot of kids for Halloween. And adults too. I mean, it's really fun, the parties and everything going on. But I'm in touch with it. It's really cool. And personally, I mean, I've been in so many horror genre or scary movies
Mm-hmm.
that it's just great to bring back memories and to talk about stuff that's been in the past and that's happening now.
Oh yeah. Are you going to be dressing up?
We go to see a family friends for the Halloween, and their kid dresses up. But you know what? I will be dressing up because I'm going to be going to classes too. So I don't know what I'm going to wear yet. I have a lot of costumes that I'm not sure yet. So we'll see.
Oh, that's good. At least you have costumes and you don't have to spend any money on them, and
Yeah.
that's always a plus. I mean, I haven't dressed up in about 3 years. I haven't. It's not so much I've grown out of it. It's just I haven't really done much going out or anything the last couple of years and stuff. But I used to dress up for years. I mean, I can remember every Halloween costume I ever wore.
Right? Exactly. Well, I went through the phase because I have kids where I made costumes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I made I took, sort of a Pokemon costume, and I covered it with feathers
Mm-hmm.
and made it into a quail outfit for my son. Like, there's so many costumes. I made a giant ketchup outfit for them when they were little. Just sewing things, making things. So, to me, it's like a really fun thing. I think that also, obviously you don't have to spend a lot. You have to just be creative.
Yeah.
You cover yourself with, you take chips and safety pin them all over to your body, and you can be a chip dispenser. Like your friends, like everyone will eat off your body. It was kind of funny. But or makeup, so fun makeup you can put on. It's just very cool.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone's dressing up or doing something fun for Halloween.
Yeah. Do you remember your first Halloween costume?
Good question. I think I was a cat, a black cat.
Mm-hmm.
I wore tights and ears and had whiskers. So I think that was my first one. It was fun. How about you? What was your first?
Funny you asked that. I actually just posted the picture of it. In 1987, when I was 4 years old, I was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea!
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
Oh, I was so adorable, I'll tell you.
Aw, that's so cute. My gosh, that sounds adorable. And like you were bringing up, sometimes people we can dress as, obviously people we see in films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're superheroes, but there are just so many great characters. I was always wondering if anyone ever dressed up like a Bill and Ted's princess, or if anybody dressed up as even Monique Janae is fine. You have a hat and a big coat,
Yeah.
People are like, who are you, right? But they go say, are you, John Cusack from Say Anything, but yeah, I wonder if people are like, or even, it's just fun to dress up as characters. Interesting to see what people dress up like this year.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody dress up as the princesses or Bill and Ted, but I have seen plenty of people, of course, dress up like the historical figures because they're historical figures,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people do dress up as Bill and Ted's, which is interesting. And if there is a Bill and Ted's film, if they are going to do it. But I wonder if that'll bring back a whole Bill and Ted's, craze where people will want to dress like Bill and Ted and, do that. That'd be very fun.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh my gosh! All right, so I am a purist. I really like chocolate. Like I like the Hershey's chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But Halloween, I will get the cravings for mounds with coconut and nuts. I like that. I like a chocolate thing. Let me think. Candy corns are good, but yeah, I'd have to say chocolate is my main favorite. I always like those giant-sized chocolate bars, the ones that are bigger than your hand. And
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'd find somebody who's cool enough who would hand out giant chocolate bars, and you'd really rush to that house to get them before they ran out.
Yeah, I'm a big Tootsie Roll guy and like Fruit Chews. Yeah, Tootsie Fruit Chews. I always love those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love the chocolate.
Getting the big bag of candies, right? Like going through them and separating them at the end too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a few people about that this week. You know, I think that the Tootsie Roll company is probably the wealthiest candy company because they produce billions of pounds of it every Halloween, and people just buy that. You know, they love it.
Wow. Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, let's put it this way: Halloween definitely does keep the candy places in business.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Is it Tootsie Roll? Anything else that you like?
I do love.
You get lollipop, actually.
Yeah, the lollipops are great. I love the chocolate ones, and I love the fun-sized Snickers bars and the Three Musketeers and all that. I do love Hershey, but it's funny. All chocolate makes me break out sooner or later with acne, but Hershey is the worst one for me. I don't know why that is. They must have something in there that makes me break out faster than anything.
Yeah, no, I bet. I mean, it's funny. I only say Hershey's not because it's my favorite chocolate, but because it's the most ready chocolate. I mean, like even Hershey Kisses, they do so many variations on it that ultimately you just cave in and you go, all right, I'm having this piece of chocolate. So, but yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. Are there any horror movies you love to watch on Halloween?
Not particularly on Halloween because I like to be with the kids and I like to hand out candy. I right now more like to get see what costumes everybody else has and give out candy. But movies, gosh, there are some awesome movies out there, and I used to watch. I mean, obviously the Halloween series and Freddy's Nightmares are great. Amanda Witt, a friend of mine, having been in the original, which it's so exciting, that I actually know people who are all in these horror films. I haven't seen them, but the Saw movies with Betsy Russell. I would audition with her. How interesting, right? We're kind of knowing Heather Langenkamp and Betsy Russell and Amanda Witt. We all do horror. Like mine was the Amityville Horror Part 2. I did the Terror Vision, which was a horror parody, if you haven't seen it. It's from the 80s.
Yep.
And then now this year, with Amityville Murders, and then also The Final Interview. The Final Interview is a film that I did a couple of years ago that actually just was at the film festival this October and won Best Thriller. And that's so huge. I mean, here's a small film from Pittsburgh, but the director, Fred Vogel, he took a chance and he made this film. It is so cool. And so I'm hoping people are going to see it. But it just won Best Thriller, so that's exciting. And Amityville Murders, I hear is now, it did so well at the screening we did at the Chinese Man Theaters in Hollywood. We opened it at it premiered at the film festival. It's going to open in theaters, and we think it's going to be maybe in February or March. So look out. I'll let people know that it will be in theaters, which is really exciting.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm just I can't wait. And with the new Halloween movie that just hit huge box office, maybe this movie will be a huge box office too, or at least do well.
Yeah, I think the timing of this is what's interesting. The Halloween film and the Halloween movie that just came out, perfect timing because it's horror. It's like horror. There's no doubt about it. But with Amityville Murders, because it's based on a true story, I find it's tricky because if you like horror, well, this is a real story, so it's not. There's not going to be blood and guts everywhere. It's real, based on reality. So I think it will do much better when it does come out because I think audiences are going to be smart enough to appreciate, this is based on a true story, so it's not. It's scary. It is absolutely scary. But sometimes, obviously, real life is scarier in a way than make believe. So I think it'll be interesting when it comes out. I think it'll be watched with, smarter eyes. Like, people are going to watch it and go, oh, okay, this is like a real thing, and this is scary, but it's also done in a way that it's respectful to the families, but it's going to be really cool. So it got great, people loved it. They thought, I think the people who maybe were disappointed or maybe didn't like it only in any way, shape, or form, which I heard very few of that, was only because they were, they're looking for, eyeballs popping out and, blood everywhere. And so if you're looking for that, yeah, that's true. It's not going to be that. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of, if the audience gets it, if they understand, So, but it is great. It's a great film. And very excited, to see it, what the reviews would be. So it's so hard reading. And then I did another movie called Waking Nightmare. That hasn't come out yet. But that, I don't know when it's going to come out. I really hope it will. But it's like great to do horror films. I think that's where the drama is.
Yeah. It's funny. I was looking on Wikipedia. I can't believe how many sequels there were to the Amityville movies, and a lot of them are just in name only,
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's such a cute story where when they did Amityville Horror, I was in Amityville Part 2. And at the time, we were talking about, like, nostalgia and growing up, in the 80s and 70s. There were no sequels. I mean, I remember doing Amityville 2 thinking, no one is going to see this movie because it's a Part 2. And if you're given a choice to see Part 1 or Part 2, you're going to watch Part 1. So we all were doing this thinking, who watches Part 2s, right? And now everybody will watch like 3 and 4 and 5. It's so funny. So it'll be interesting when the Amityville comes out. I wonder if people will watch all the series and, review those. Or, certainly with me, having played the daughter in Part 2 and then now the mother, that will be compared. I know some people will be like, we love Part 2, that's my favorite because, I was 20, right? So, and very, provocative storyline. But, we'll see. We'll see, people today will, enjoy it. It'll be really cool. I'm just really so excited that I get to play these big roles, and as an adult, you don't know as an actor, a mature actress, not a lot of roles are that juicy, so that's why I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah, my ideal horror movies, I mean, I love the Friday the 13th movies and Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I also watch...
Dawn of the Dead. Right, Dawn of the Dead. Great movie.
Yeah, but I also watch yours, like Amityville and Deadly Lessons and Summer Girl and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Summer Girl was scary. I'm starting to post on my Instagram photos of the scary movies. And Summer Girl, even though it's not considered a horror film, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I'm going to post some photos from there as well. And Deadly Lessons. These are movies for television, by the way, if anyone's interested. Deadly Lessons was done by ABC, and it was a movie for television with Bill Paxton. He played my boyfriend, and Donna Reed was in it, Larry Wilcox, and Ali Sheedy was in it.
And Dina Freeman.
And, Dina Freeman. I love Dina. She's so nice.
Oh, yeah, I remember...
very scary.
Remember, I gave both of you each other's numbers. Did she ever call you? Did you ever call her?
Yes, we did. We called each other, and we've been really busy, but we did speak, and it was really fun because we have both have families and kids, and our kids are growing up, and so it was fun to talk about that and connect. So thank you for that. That was wonderful.
Oh, my pleasure. I love bringing people together, and I have those rare moments when I do, and I'm so glad. I was so happy to do it. So you're welcome, Diane.
Thank you. You're welcome. And that movie of the week was about I played a farm girl going to a rich prep school, and then all the girls who were in it were sort of like we're all living in a boarding school, and somebody gets murdered, and we don't know who it is, so it's like a who's who. And then Summer Girl was about a girl who gets hired as a babysitter by a family, and you think she's a really kind of normal, regular, kind of frumpy sort of girl, doesn't, she just is, sort of dutiful and homely kind of, and it turns out that she is a very evil, she's sort of psychologically scary kind of person where she ends up, you find out, murdering people. And so that's the role of Somerville. The rest of that film was very cool. That's with Barry Bostwick and Kim Doherty.
Yep.
Later.
Yep. Oh my God. When you and Barry were at Sinister Creature Con in Stockton last year, was that the first time you two had seen each other since the movie?
Oh, no, actually, we saw each other a couple of times since then, but I love Barry. He is one of the sweetest guys. Barry Bostwick is so nice and so charming and such a really nice actor to work with. He is open to do anything. And he can play any role. And he's just a really nice guy. And I hope, who knows, maybe we'll work again together. I have to say, now that I'm acting again, it'll be interesting to see what work. I would love to do some more horror. I would also like to do sci-fi, so it'll be interesting to see what roles I get, because I know that there's a lot of TV, there's a lot of internet. I would say that, if people are interested, anybody who's listening, if people who have projects, you can submit them to me, you can submit them to my agent. But, I think sometimes people are intimidated. They think, oh, you've been in business, so, this is, kind of scary. Talk about being scary.
Yeah.
Approach people. But actors are very open, that we're creative people and we're interested in good projects. So if you have a good project, you want to, submit it to people so that, they get, so I've, in fact, one of the reasons I did the final interview was the director submitted a script to me and I read it and I loved the script. And I said, I really want to do this. So sometimes, you got to be kind of brave and, put it out there. And I really love new filmmakers and I love the industry. Obviously my daughter she's a filmmaker, and so I got to experience, what she goes through, and I thought, I'm just going to put it out there, and that's, even Amityville, people, find out that you like their work, and then they're more open to, saying, hey, would you like a role, so we'll see what happens. I'd love to, as long as the roles are good, I'm into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually love those videos that you've made with your daughter.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I have a new, we have a web series, and although it's not that consistent because we've been so busy recently, when we do put it out, it's very fun, and it sort of shows our relationship, but it also shows me on a day-to-day level with my daughter. We have a hilarious relationship, really fun, and we're going to do a lot more, but recently she's been prepping for a film that she's going to be doing, and she writes, directs, acts, and edits her films as well, and I have been getting ready. The next thing I'm going to be doing is 80s in the Sands. We're going to be going to the Dominican Republic, to Punta Cana, a place called the Breathless Resort. So this is an amazing 80s festival. It's got 80s music, 80s actors, and it's in the Dominican Republic, a week-long 80s extravaganza. So if you love the 80s and you didn't get a chance to go this year, next year, sign up. I'm telling you, I'm going back again this year because it was so great. It was so much fun. You're able to see all the performers, meet them. It's 80s heaven, and the food is great, and it's an adult event, so there's no kids, but there is, all you inclusive food and drinks, and I'm a huge fan. In fact, Amanda was going to come this year, but she actually had, unfortunately, another booking engagement, so she wanted to come back. So just letting you know how good it is. When the actors go back, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I had Julia Montgomery back on last week to promote it and stuff, and yeah, she's.
How is she? And I'm a fan of hers. I've never met her, and I'm excited to meet her.
Oh, she told me she used to see you at auditions back in the 80s.
Wow, see?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We've maybe passed in the audition room, but we never got to talk. So I'm going to be probably having a love me in the classroom, and oh wait, you're in my classroom. Wait, oh I'm in another one, and you don't get to spend time together. But I'm excited to see her.
Oh God, yeah, she's like on my top 10 list of my favorite interviews because she always laughs at what I say. She thinks I'm hilarious, and she doesn't hold anything back. She's very honest, and she's just a great person.
Well, good. I'm excited. Tell me this is fun. Now you're linking us together now, so that'll be fun.
Yes. And she told me that Curtis wishes he was going now, even though he didn't really enjoy it last year.
See, there you go. Well, Curtis, when last year, Curtis also he wasn't feeling quite well, so I think that was part of it for him. It was hard. He was at the end of his book tour. It was the last trip, and he was just burnt out. It was too much. So, but it is a fun event, and I think that imagine, like, if you love the 80s, this is like every year they have like all the different kinds of bands. Like I met the Motels, and I met the I'm trying to think. Oh my goodness, Flock of Seagulls.
Yep.
And I'm thinking of another 80s event now too. So my mind is so it's like I went to another 80s event that actually I hosted at the Honda Center, and there I met. Oh my gosh, they were amazing. What is it? I think
Wang Chung.
The Bangles were there. The Bangles, but it was like a punk band, and I loved them. And what were they? Dang it, my brain is going to all these different bands. But anyway, just all I can tell you is if you love 80s music, check out the website 80s in the Stand, and you'll see they're great, and they get a good group of people. So, in fact, what's interesting is I love 80s experiences, 80s events, because the music is very upbeat, or even in punk, like very strong, like high energy. And it's just when you're around that group, the people who like that music, the same kind of music, you're around upbeat people. So it was very cool to see the people who came, because everyone was just ready to have a good time, which made me happy. It was great.
Yeah, one of my favorite bands is going to be there this year, Honeymoon Suite.
Oh, wow, cool. That's great.
And
you got to come. You got to do it. You'll love it.
I wish I could. I don't have any money.
I know. You know what? That's the other thing. Got to save for it, but their rates are very reasonable. I mean, for that kind of a trip, for 7 days or 8 days, whatever. You have to check it out, but they're reasonable for an all-inclusive thing. But yeah, you got to save. You got to save it for it. So some people get married there. Some people have their weddings there.
Wow.
I mean, weddings. Some people have birthdays there. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Yeah. Robert Romanus will be there, and Tanya Katane, who I thought was a very interesting choice. She's
right. Yep.
I met her a couple of years ago at a convention. She's very interesting.
Well, I guess I will meet her as well, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, she's nice though. She's nice.
Good.
Does it ever get uncomfortable though, walking around in a bikini with all the fans looking at you and stuff?
You know, it's so funny. It's funny you say that. They have separate areas, you know, so people, you know, the entertainers and the celebrities have an area where they can just relax.
Yeah.
But I walk around. I go to the other area too. So like, I remember one guy came up to me and he's like, "Oh, can I take a picture of you?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like he took a picture with me in a bikini, and I was like, "Wow, you know, like that's really it's one of my favorite pictures actually that I have, because it sort of reminded me of the fact that, you know, it's fun to be with people from the 80s, and that, you know, he wanted a picture with me in my bikini. That was kind of fun. So it wasn't like, can you just put something on, please? Because we're really, you know, don't wear a bikini now. But it was, very fun. Yeah, you walk around, you dress in bikinis, and like everyone's having a good time, and pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a picture like that either. I noticed, too, earlier this month you were at Shriek Fest.
Yes. What was fun about that was I was at Shriek Fest because I belong to a group of women, a group called Women in Horror.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these are 80s actresses, or actually it's not just 80s, but it's all actresses who have been involved in horror. And we really try to support each other in doing that and being there for each other. So one of the women who runs Shriek Fest, she told me, I mean, everyone was invited, but I was told that, I could show up and talk about the film, the Amityville film, promote it, and meet some other actresses. So I was very excited to go. And when I got there, it was really fun. Actually, it was very funny because I was actually online for like an hour to get on the red carpet. It was so crowded. It was so crowded. Finally, I get to the red carpet and talked about Amityville. And then I met some other actresses who were so nice. And again, it was like a love fest where you see somebody and you go, oh my gosh, I've always liked your work. I'm glad to meet you finally. I've been told about you. So,
yeah, like Kelly Baroni.
Yes, Kelly Baroni, that was it. I met Kelly. Kelly and I have heard about each other for years. We've heard about each other. We've seen each other, like maybe on auditions back in the day, but we never got to meet. And each of us was told, oh, you got to meet each other.
Yeah.
And so finally, we had the chance. We're like, we got to take a picture together because this is special. And yeah, she was great. I mean, she was happy I was there because she was a judge at the event. So she was. Not a lot of other people went. So she was like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here, and we can hang out, check out the place, and just finally get a chance to see each other." So I have a feeling we'll see each other at other events, and I'm looking forward to meeting more of these women in horror again at these other events.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great ones out there, and Kelly, oh my God, she is just a national treasure. I went to a horror festival earlier this year, my first ever, and Kelly was there, and she gave me my first in-person interview, which I have on YouTube, and I cherish it. And
how nice! That's nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, here's an even nicer story. The first time I met her 2 years ago at a convention, we had a nice conversation that lasted for a while, and then I went to go see her performance in this play she was doing over in Sherman Oaks, and she didn't think that I was going to show up. She thought maybe I was just one of those fans who's going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to show up, and never do. But then I did, and that just touched her so much. I wake up in my hotel the next day, and I get a friend request from her, and I just cried. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's really wonderful. That's really sweet.
She's a great person. Yes, she's a great person.
Did you ever think when you were younger that you would be talking to all these actresses? Like, how fun is that?
No, I never did, and I'm so glad I'm doing it. But no, when I was a kid, no, I didn't think so.
Right? You never imagined just telling people out there, sometimes if you just allow things to happen, sometimes they work out. It's amazing. I just had a guy, he called me, and he's a very big Bill and Ted fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he and his wife, actually, or fiance, are a very big Bill and Ted fan. And he just told me that, he said, our whole wedding is based on Bill and Ted. And he asked me if I could send him something to wish them a happy wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to do something with Kim, the other princess, but she got too busy. But I had a little time, so I was like, okay, I'm going to send them like a little congratulations. So they're getting married tomorrow, and so I just sent them a little thing that said, good luck, happy, wedding and all that. And so I think they're going to be very excited to have something on their wedding day from the real original from Bill and Ted. So that should be very fun for them. I certainly can't always do it, but it was something very sweet and different. And I thought, you know what? This is going to make a big difference for them. So.
That is beautiful. That is just beautiful. I mean, I don't know any other words beyond that. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, and it's a surprise for his fiance, so it's they're all regular, whatever, but then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, what did you do for for a wedding. You did what? You know? So, I sort of gave them they're going to, they should have an excellent relationship,
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I did a similar thing that same day. I met Kelly and I met Catherine Mary Stewart. One of my
Oh, good. You tell me about that. I love Catherine.
Yeah, one of my best girlfriends. She loves their movie Night of the Comet as much as I do, and I got her a signed 8x10 for her wedding. It was a wedding gift, and she just, oh my God, she was just astounded. She loved it. I mean, she just flipped for it. She's like, oh my God, if I wasn't marrying this guy, I would marry you.
Oh, that is so sweet. Nice. Yeah, nostalgia is like, it's so interesting. I was just talking to someone about this, that can buy something for someone, but there's something about going back in time and like bringing back nostalgia for people that is, it gets you,
Yeah.
It's worth a lot. It's so much more than the object. I mean, it's more than money, it's memories. It's bringing us back to the time when we were growing up and what was important to us, and it's sort of shaping our lives, people roles in films and people doing roles. So, yeah, it's very exciting. It's and I love nostalgia. I like that's to me like why some actresses are like, ooh, don't look at me as an 80s actress, and I'm like, no, that's okay. Look at me as an 80s actress.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're going to remember the bulk of my work. And if you remember some of the things from this time period, that's great. But I don't find it an insult. I don't find it, disrespectful. Although, obviously actresses today, we still want to work, so they want to be seen as current. But I think that when you watch somebody from the past, it brings a feeling, and then it's just like you want to relive it. You want to just, go through that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very well said, Diane.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to love Chevy Chase. Oh my gosh, I was in love with Chevy Chase. And I sent Chevy Chase a letter. Mm-hmm. And I was really young, probably like 12 or something, and 13. And I can't tell you how excited I was to get that black and white 8x10 in the mail.
Oh, you did?
Signed by Chevy, and it said, keep smiling. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was, because I thought he was so funny, and I thought he was so handsome, and it was just funny. It was very, very cute.
Chevy was one of my early comedy influences, and he still is. I just love how deadpan he is, and how he balances it between being this cocky, arrogant guy, but with this cuteness about him. Yeah, he can tell jokes. He can do physical comedy so well. He can do
down and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, he also do dramatic moments too. I mean, he's a very talented guy.
Yeah, that's good. And again, that was all the beginning of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
that was like the start of it. And so it's so interesting for me watching that at that age, like when I was really young, to see him. Like that, I didn't know that didn't exist before that the Saturday Night Live was there. Like, I mean, it was a new thing, but today the generation goes, oh, well, Saturday Night Live's going forever. It's been there forever. And, people just keep sort of following the path of all the other ones in the past. But at that time, there weren't a lot of comedy things out there. Really, comedy was not, it wasn't as accessible, and it was more niche.
Yeah.
And you'd get comedic film, and maybe a comedic, that was a comedic sketch show. That was so rare. There was nothing else like it on TV. Comedy was very dry, and there's so much more comedy today. And I just think that comedy's purpose is to bring people into a good head and a positive place. And if you've got a lot of woes, you can forget it for a minute, recuperate, and then just get your thoughts, it just helps process things. So also, it reminds people that, when things get hard, you've got to go to funny. You got to flip it. When things get really tough in life, you got to find it. When really, really tough. You've got to find the funny. You've got to find the other side, and that's what helps you survive and get to the next level of fixing things in life. So I really do feel like there's a real purpose with comedy. It's not just laughing in the moment, but we should allow ourselves, the society, to take it and turn, whatever heightened anger or heightened fear, and flip it and go, all right, well, you know what, that scared me, or that, maybe now, but all right, I got to, lighten up and just, look at the whole situation from a bigger perspective. So, I don't know, it's helpful in psychology, I think.
Yeah, I think that comedy...
That's why I back it, yeah.
I think comedy is our biggest survival mechanism and our greatest tool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's taken for granted. I was just thinking recently how people, when somebody tells you to do a task or something that, let's say, get this done,
right.
Everyone gets serious. They shut off their emotion and they just get really, you can become very, not one-dimensional, but just very, so focused on the goal that you forget the process. And comedy and sense of humor show you that the process doesn't have to be, you can do things with a smile, you can do things with a good nature, and it takes focus, but it takes intelligence. It takes thought, and you decide every day. You decide how you're going to look at things. Are you going to look for what's good in life, or are you going to look for what's bad? And there's a lot of people who think maybe their purpose in life is to figure out what's bad in life. And that may be true. Maybe we need some people who are good at detail and looking for problems. But let's try to turn that to the solution, and let's not just find the problem with the situation. If you have the strength to find the problem, you have the strength to find a solution. So, listen, that's my perspective. And honestly, it has worked very well in my life, I have to say. Every day I try to do something good for people, and I don't do it to get back. I do it because it's truthful, but I do find that the world becomes a better place around me because I do it. It's crazy. Amazing. So whether you give money, or you give a smile, or you give a compliment, or you point at something good that someone's doing, you are adding to the wave of life that makes the world a better place.
Yes, and you're
that's just my $2. That's my $2.
It's your $2. Yeah, you are succeeding wonderfully on that, Diane. You truly are. And before I forget, I was curious, do you have a color on your nails?
I do. Right now it is beige, but I'm going to be switching it up for the 80s in the Sand, so I don't know what color it will be. And yes, I've been changing color because I've been playing these different characters. I actually, I played, in Amityville was that mauve pink, and then I went and played a medium, and so I went to black. And so I really like, I look at acting as body and voice tell a story, so that's part of my method of creating characters, But I think hands are so fascinating to a character. They tell so much about a person. Long nails, short nails, if you have rings on your fingers, if you don't, if it's just, nothing on your hands. You're a hard worker, are you more upper class, elegant? What's the story behind you? And I really feel like hands tell a very great story. As you see.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with black and orange for Halloween.
Oh, nice. Good. I'd love to see it. You're going to have to post that.
I will. I sure will.
Okay.
Okay, well, so November 3rd through the 10th, you will be at 80s in the Sand in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
And when again is Amityville Murders coming out?
Okay, so I have some events I can share with the audience. It hasn't been official, so I'm going to say that they're looking to get it to theaters by February or March. We'll see. So this is just word you're hearing from me. It's not official yet.
Okay.
Bring it ahead of time. So I don't know when it's going to be released. Originally, it was going to be released on November 13th. I don't think that's happening anymore because it did do so well. So I think they want to take some time with it a little bit more. Also, but I will be doing some conventions, and so that is what people may want to save up for, go to see. I'm going to be at the Hollywood convention. I think it's February 3rd, so in Los Angeles.
The Hollywood show?
The Hollywood show, yes.
Yeah.
Hollywood show in Los Angeles. And if you come to that, make sure you buy your DVD, because I don't know if I'll be able to have DVDs out on the table yet, because the film's not out. I don't think they're going to do that. So if you can get the film and order it, do. But I will be there with, lots of fun new things. And then I'm also, supposedly, although I'm again, they have to announce it as well, I will be at New Jersey HorrorCon, and I think that's going to be in Atlantic City, which is so much fun. I'm excited to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be at the end of March, the last weekend of March. And then after that, I'm going to be in Ohio in May. I think it's the last week of May. I think it's the 4-day weekend, of May. And that is, oh my gosh, what is the name of that convention? It's going to be in, I think, Toledo, Ohio? Is it Toledo? That's in Ohio? I think it's there. But anyway, I'll put it, if you go to my Facebook and go to Diane Franklin's fan, because the other one's filled up, you'll see a black and white picture. You can friend me on Facebook, and I'll give you the information. You can also go to Diane Franklin, Diane Franklin 80s on Twitter. That's the Twitter handle, Diane Franklin 80s. And then you can also go to, on Instagram, actress Diane Franklin. Actress Diane Franklin, and that's my Instagram. So when these are official and they go out online, I will post them, and then you will be able to buy your tickets and come and see me, and we're going to have a great time. And I'm bringing my Better Off Dead coat, so you'll be able to take pictures in it and then send it to me to be in my book. And I'm planning to get the book out in 2020. So we've got some time, but I'm going to do some very cool things for it in the meantime.
Oh, good. I hope I can go see you somewhere, because I haven't taken the coat picture yet.
Oh my God, you have to. Then we have to find it. I'll keep putting these conventions out, and hopefully you can show up. Where do you live? Where is your house? Where do you live?
In Redding, California, and I go out to LA or the Bay Area for conventions.
Okay, all right, fine. So we'll see if I can get something in San Francisco. All right.
Yeah, or just LA. I mean, I plan on going out there next year. I wasn't able to this year. Things were kind of dark for a while, but things are getting better, fortunately. So.
Good. I'll keep good thoughts for you, Tommy. That's really good.
Oh, thank you so much. And my mom says hi, by the way.
Well, hello, Mom. How are you? Hope you're good.
She'll be very happy to hear that when she listens to this.
Great.
So Diane.
Hey, excellent, Mom.
Yeah. So happy.
You're the most excellent son. Go on.
Oh, thank you. The most excellent son.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a happy Halloween, a safe trip, happy rest of the holidays, and happy New Year. And I'll talk to you again next year.
All right. Thank you so much, Tommy. You're always a pleasure to talk to.
Oh.
And I hope everyone listens to this show, and I hope it was fun. And have a great Halloween, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Diane Franklin. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Diane. I just love your compliments, saying, I am your most excellent son. You have unfinished business. I just love that accent, Diane. You know I love that accent. You are my friend. You have unfinished business. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.